What I like most about it is being able to look straight out and you're already looking at the 100-foot mark on a tree. So you don't have to crane your head up to see and experience how tall the trees are. You get this nice vantage from being up on a hill and you get a bird's eye view of the redwoods.
That's Jon Parmentier, a photographer, musician, and board member of the Redwood Parks Association. He's about to take us on a 5-minute visit to one of his favorite places, Del Norte Coast Redwood State Park. Del Norte is right in the center of the Redwood National and State Parks group, with its own special mix of big trees, cliffs and crashing waves, and a cozy campground. There are lots of options for visitors here. You can take a scenic drive, picnic at Wilson Creek, bicycle on the coastal trail, or learn about forest restoration at Mill Creek Day Use area. But today, we're at mile marker 16 on the west side of Highway 101, about to hike down Damnation Creek Trail.
It's famous for being really steep. It's not a particularly long hike. You walk up a little quarter-mile hill, and then you go downhill for about 2 miles. You lose 1,000 feet of elevation.
Sounds from the highway fade, and soon we're surrounded by silence and the calls of the winter wren. And the varied thrush. Most of Earth's original coast redwood forests have been logged. But thanks to the work of groups like Save the Redwoods League, California State Parks, and the National Park Service, 4 to 5% of those ancient forests remain. This forest is a great example of what's been preserved.
I have an inordinate amount of photos from this trail. It's often foggy. The ocean is so close, and the air is moving up the hill. You get a lot of, I guess they call them God rays. I call them redwood rainbows. It's really hard to predict when the conditions are going to be just right, but since it's such a steep incline, you can walk down or up the hill to get to just the right spot where the fog is just thick enough to give you those God rays.
As we slowly walk down the hillside, things begin to change.
So we're only a couple hundred yards from where we were before, and already the redwood trees are significantly smaller, and what I'm seeing here also is a lot more Douglas fir in the mix. There were Douglas fir up the hill, but there's just more of them here. And what's happening is the conditions are less favorable for prime redwood growth here, so they have a little more competition.
A little farther down the trail, another towering tree takes the stage. It's much more tolerant of salt spray than the redwood, and it shares a name with a town in Alaska, the Sitka spruce. We rest at the kingpost-style bridge at Damnation Creek.
Yeah, we're pretty close to the ocean, and so nice little footbridge going across the creek, but we're in an area where it's dominated by Sitka spruce, and we got the coastal scrub coming in, lots of berries and some alder trees and real thick undergrowth.
We walk into a colorful field of Douglas iris and cow parsnip. From the edge of that headland, we follow wooden steps down to the beach.
We're right here where Damnation Creek flows into the ocean, so you hear both creek and ocean. This is a perfect example of the rough California coast. Rocky, there's cliffs plummeting down into the ocean. Whew, it's just really nice.
Thanks for joining us on this 5-minute visit to Del Norte Coast Redwood State Park. When you're ready to plan your own adventure, stop by any Redwood National and State Parks Visitor Center, or check out the State Park website. Take some time and look around.
So a great hike, 2 miles, you go from old growth redwood down to the ocean.